Yo, this is like the Holocaust for deer. Your whole ancestry almost got wiped out if it wasn't for that one herd. I'm not gonna lie, that's aura. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. As you guys know, I usually don't talk about or do animal videos as much anymore, but I'm still a very passionate person who loves animals, and when I'm big and famous, I plan to donate and create my own sanctuaries here. Shout out Urban Rescue Ranch. I know he needs the money, and that's why I want to help him out. If you know him, shout out to you. Anyways, today, there's always one thing I wanted to do in life that's in my bucket list, and that is meet extinct animals. That's right, guys. Today, we are watching I Met Extinct Animals in Real Life. As you guys know, a lot of people are parasocial and they live through other people's lives. Well, today I'm doing that because I want to meet those extinct animals too.
This animal is extinct in the wild. And in today's video, I'm going to be introducing you to a whole handful of incredible creatures that have been removed from their native range that are in current conservation breeding programs to be put back out into the wild. So let's go and meet, while she takes a nap, our first extinct animal.
Rio, blue.
So here we go. Look at this. Unbelievable. The Spix macaw, the literal blue parrot from the movie Rio. Now, these animals are so amazing because they're an animal that have fought back from extinction, and it's been done in a very strange and very illegal way. So in the 1970s and 80s, heavy poaching on top of massive habitat degradation led to the steep decline of these beautiful birds. And in the year 2000, the last male was seen in the wild. But since then, and because these animals were poached because they're so beautiful for the pet trade, there were 11 of them left.
Like, I hate poaching with a passion. Because it's like, dude, why are you targeting these beautiful animals? If you know, it's like, I hate people that don't care about animals. It's like, I genuinely can't be around you if you can't care for other living beings in this world. Because what makes you feel more superior? Okay, yeah, we're humans. Well, guess what? Now it's our responsibility to take care of the rest of the world. You want to act smart? You want to build stuff here? Well, better take care of the land around it. You know the consequences. Mother Nature will take you down regardless of what you think, who's superior or not. We will never be Mother Nature. So she can easily send earthquakes, tsunamis, you know. So that's why we take care of stuff, and we should be taking care about animals. I don't understand why it's like humans feel like, oh, you know, I don't really care about animals. Like, no, we should be caring about the whole world. Not just ourselves.
Around the world in private collections, most of them illegally taken from the wild. So then from those 11 founder birds, they began to reproduce and send birds back to Brazil. In 2022, 22 birds were put back into the wild. In fact, my team went down there to film the Spix macaw being re-released into the wild, and I wasn't able to go. So this is one of the only times I've ever got to interact with these absolutely striking bluebirds. Now, the initial groups that were released into the wild were semi-successful. So what they did is they took these birds back to Brazil. They did a whole bunch of habitat restoration, and they built an area to slow release these beautiful birds. They had them in an outside enclosure in the forest in Brazil where they needed to go. They trained other parrots to show them how to leave the enclosures and go out into the forest, into the nesting area. And slowly, over time, those 22 birds went out. And then a miracle in 2024, as the first wild hatch chicks in over 20 years were born in the forest. And sadly, the birds born in 2025 contain circovirus. So that is a fatal virus, and the birds have now had to be recaptured from the wild, treated, and will once again be re-released. But Ventara is working here with an unbelievably beautiful insurance colony, making sure that these birds are reproducing, flying them to Brazil to help all of the Brazilian efforts to reintroduce them into the wild, to bring the literal bird from the movie Rio, the Spix macaw, one of the most beautiful...
You know, shout out Blue Sky, bro. Or DreamWorks. I forgot which one made Rio. But yo, shout out to them, because deadass, if it wasn't for Rio, I would not know about this bird. I'm gonna keep it a buck, where I would not be as interested in this bird as I would in any other, you know, cooler birds. Because deadass, this might be my favorite bird. Because yeah, I'm telling you, bro, I loved Rio. So if it went extinct, I would actually cry. I need them to stay alive.
Back from extinction.
Now, let's take a look at another species that nearly disappeared forever.
Look at these beautiful animals, animals that are extinct in the wild, the smallest species of arcs in the world. Let's go and meet their keeper. Here's the man himself. How are you, Shamshad?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, brother.
Forest.
So you're the king of the hoofstock around here.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Arabian oryx.
So Arabian
There's
oryx
only
belongs to
1972
the
left?
Middle East,
Oh, no,
Arabian
Saudi
Peninsula,
Arabia, Dubai,
yes.
UAE, yeah.
I have seen them in the wild. As
You
well.
have seen them in the wild.
Yes.
You are very lucky then,
Yeah.
because in 1972,
Yeah.
these species were completely extinct in the wild, right?
Exactly. So what happened? There were lots of hunting happen
See, again,
because
the
of when the
poachers.
oil was discovered.
Yep.
And they were chasing these animals with the
Quad bikes and,
and then that hunting goes on and then
So 1972, the last wild one was seen.
So
Then in the 1980s, they started reintroducing them to the
reintroducing the
wild.
wild. So,
Yeah.
so currently, it is considered that more than
That's so
1,000
unique.
individuals are in the wild.
Yeah.
And which is a good actually number.
Yeah.
And that is the actually much more than the threshold that is 250 individuals.
That's right.
That is a need a viable population to sustain a wild population in the wild.
Without genetic bottlenecking.
Genetic bottlenecking.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the
bottleneck.
only species to ever go from extinct in the wild, critically endangered, endangered,
and
vulnerable.
the vulnerable.
Really?
How cool is that? Soon, hopefully, they'll just be at threatened, near threatened, and then least concern.
Is concerned.
Dang,
Why do
so there's so many tiers you gotta go through to really hit the extinct. So imagine going through all of them and you skipping through some to extinct. Yo, I would dead ass like, how do you even deal with this? Like, how would a scientist take care of the a zoologist, deal with this? Like, we gotta make sure this dude stays in a captive area, happy as hell until we find a female. You know what I'm saying? Because we could dead ass lose this. Like, I can feel that pressure. That's why it's like, shout out to everybody that takes care of animals. Deadass, I don't know how they do it, but I want to support that because I know I can't do it, but I'll give them money gladly. Quick intermission. Sorry guys, but we are so close to
900
subscribers, and I really want to be able to reach it. So I thought if we can get to 1,000 subscribers, I will shave my head. That's right, guys. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys subscribe. Anyways, back to the video.
Why do some of these, I assume males, because males and females both have the big horns.
Really?
Why do they have pipe covers on their horns?
So when
They're
they were
bulky.
rescued here due to the transportation to avoid any aggression and injuries, these horn caps are kept
Makes
to
sense.
protect the
Knock you
individual.
out.
So those tubes are keeping them safe. They're here, and Shamshad and his team are working on potentially partnering with the rewilding efforts to help contribute to the ongoing success of an unbelievably beautiful, smallest
They are
arc
beautiful.
species in the world that is one of the most desert-adapted species on
Really?
Earth that has absolutely every right to still be on this planet.
Hell
It's
yeah.
thanks to incredible keepers like him
Yo,
that
shout
bred
out to
them
bro.
back from extinction. Let's go see our next extinct animal.
Oh.
Apparently, our next
deer.
extinct in the wild animal is incredibly aggressive. So there's
Get
one
the
male,
fuck-
a whole lot of females here.
See, that's how I'm trying to end up. Yo, if we're ever in danger and there's a male virus epidemic, you know what I'm saying? Yo, since I don't leave my house, I don't think I can get it. I'm gonna keep it a book. Hey, ladies, don't worry. Hey, I'm gentle. I'm a respectful freak. You know what I'm saying? Put me in a room full of women until they give me consent. I ain't gonna do nothing. But that should be me. If we're ever endangered again, let me know. I can help repopulate.
And we're gonna risk it for the biscuit here. So
for the biscuit.
these are pure Davidson deer, is that right?
Yes.
Whoa.
Tell me about them.
Pure Davidson National Range, Central China, early 1900s. Dang. They were once kept in imperial hunting parks during the Qing dynasty. Really? Survived only through captive breeding in European zoos. Successfully reintroduced to protect reserves in China. Okay, that's good. They fixed their mistakes.
So right now, where we are standing, we are quarantining them over here.
That's right.
And as we all know that
40 rescues,
water.
right?
yes, these guys
Yeah,
are
they look Asian
semi-aquatic
too. What the
species.
hell?
That's right.
So we are creating a habitat.
Yep.
So they can go.
I
they
never
can
seen a Chinese
regulate
deer look
themselves
Chinese.
Yep.
in a water body.
And these are new rescues, 40 pure Davidson
Look at
deer,
that.
an animal
They
that
look
was
Chinese.
extinct in the wild that lived in marshes and wetlands in China, have been rescued by
wetlands?
Ventara. And now
That's-
there's one male
I
and a group of
never heard of
females,
that.
one male here and a group of females, and one male and a group of females over there. Three
Oh,
different
shit.
enclosures.
Yo,
that you
they
put
all
them
got
onto
the,
to
yo,
prevent
whole group got a
infighting.
bunch of
Now,
females?
what's so interesting about pure Davidson deer is they were extinct in China. And my understanding is in the late 1800s, they were down to only one group left, one herd of pure Davidson deer, and they were trapped by the Qing dynasty and put into their private hunting reserve.
In 1895,
Yeah.
there is a one flood, and because of that flood, the population is going in a danger at that time.
It breached the walls
Yes.
and they escaped. So the only known population escaped in 1895, and then they were shot, they were hunted, and they thought that this animal, this pure Davidson deer, was extinct completely. But the dynasty had actually sent just a handful of individuals. Do you know how many?
Yes, there are only few individuals, around 20, 30
people
sent to Europe.
Yes.
And every single Pierre Davidson deer that's alive today was brought back from those individuals.
Yes.
That's
holy shit, imagine being your ancestry. Yo, this is like the Holocaust for deer. Your whole ancestry almost got wiped out if it wasn't for that one herd. I'm not gonna lie, that's aura. I'd be proud as hell to be a Chinese deer.
That's amazing.
So it's again a great success of captive population.
Right. Now, they're a very interesting looking deer. They're very wetland specific, which is why you literally dug this just for them, right?
Yes.
And flooded it. And this is their little quarantine zone.
They are feeling
they might become fish in like thousands of years.
Corner.
Why? Because we are giving, you can see the napier grass.
Yeah.
So it acts as a visual barrier.
That's right. Yeah.
Feels that they are in a nature. They are in a safe zone.
And this is just the quarantine. They'll have a big open paddock with tons of bush and places to hide and a swampy ecosystem as soon as they're done with quarantine. Now, what is Ventara going to do outside of rescuing these three groups or this big herd? What is the management plan for these animals?
After the settling over here, we are studying on their genetic lines. If they are coming from the very great genetic lines, then we are going to, a conservation breeding program.
Right.
Then in that particular program, we selected some males and good females, and then we carry on with those genetic lines.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys rescued these 40. They're really cool. We'll get out of here. An unbelievable swampy deer from China that was extinct in the wild for hundreds of years until a single group went back to China from Europe and has now repopulated that area, bringing them back from extinction. An animal that I've never seen in person in my life before today that is allegedly very aggressive. And just wait until you get to meet our next extinct animal.
Wait, that's
next up on our list of extinct creatures, something that has a very...
Wasn't this one in Amazing World of Gumball? I swear I've seen this somewhere. I don't know in the wild. I just know I've seen it in Amazing World of Gumball.
Something that has a very close personal touch to my heart. Kevin. No, I'm just kidding. Kevin is a longtime friend of mine.
Hey, Kevin.
And one of the world's leading reptile breeders. And here at Ventara, they have these guys. Now, this is obviously an adult, and then this is a juvenile Rhode Island snake-necked turtle.
Okay,
now,
Rhode Island snake-necked turtle. Native range, Rhode Island, Indonesia. Extinct in the wild since early 2000s. Named for its unusual long, flexible neck. Driven to extinction in the wild by illegal wildlife trade. Survives today primarily in conservation breeding programs. I'm not gonna lie, I swear I've seen this in Amazing World Gumball.
I love these guys, but what's so interesting about Rhode Islands, Kev?
So basically where they come from two lakes, and the lakes are crystal clear, and it was very easy back in the 90s for pet keepers and whatever to go into these areas and collect all of them. So intrinsically they're extinct from the wild, and now we just have to depend on the potential in captivity for captive breeding, reintroduction, head starting programs, habitat development, and community outreach.
Now, I absolutely love these animals. They're part of a large group of snake-necked turtles, and you can see where the name comes from. It's this long, crazy neck that'll bend into the shell, as Kevin's showing you there. But Rhodies are so cool because while there are several snake necks, few of them have this rounded head and front area and this very, very neat like brown plaster on here. But I think they're just one of the most beautiful turtles in the world. And sadly, as Kevin said, they were poached to extinction from the wild for the pet collection because they are so charismatic and characterful. Because of that, and because of habitat degradation, they were expatriated from the wild, but now ongoing conservation and restoration efforts.
So what could have factored into its extinction on the wild? What I'm guessing it was mostly like kids. If the people were taking it for pet collection, I'm guessing the kids like not knowing what to feed it, maybe feeding it wrong, putting it in water it wasn't supposed to be. Maybe that's what led to its extinction also. But from what I heard, he said the wild. I don't know if they've been extinct inside the cities, That's just my guess. Hey, I'm no zoologist. I'm just assuming.
On Rhode Island in Indonesia near Timor are actively taking place, and people like Kevin who are breeding these animals will hopefully one day be putting them back into the wild, right, Kev?
That's
the
absolutely our intent here at Ventara. We have to pretty much find animals in peril, and if we have possibilities of being able to reproduce them, acquiring our gene stock, we obviously do a lot of rescues too, but once we get our gene stock, then set up breeding programs where we can breed them. The breeding is not so hard. It's pretty much having pristine enclosures, pristine environments, giving what they need, and then naturally they'll lay eggs.
Right.
Because you don't want to have the whole thing being exploited again. You don't want to have the next batch of collectors coming in there, because McCordi are very, very rare. They're highly sought after. But now, since we're breeding them in captivity, that's going to reduce the demand. But ultimately, one of the components of Antara is always rewilding, working with endangered species, working with programs, countries, wherever. If it's birds, if it's reptiles, which I'm here for, the reptiles, those are one of our target activities that we want to do.
Thanks for all your work on these. We're going to go on and go see our next extinct animal. Next up is this beautiful cheetah.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, the cheetah, I did not know it was actually going extinct. I actually thought it was good. I thought it was chilling like the rest of the other wild cats. Because that's where I saw in the Mr. B's video. Mr. B's, you got some explaining to do.
Beautiful cheetah right here.
Asiatic cheetah. Native range, India and Middle East. Extinct in the wild since 1952. Once symbolized royalty and hunting culture in Asia. Smaller and paler than African cheetahs. Oh, okay, this was just Asian. Okay. Driven to extinction by habitat loss, brood mortality, and declining prey. Okay, that makes sense. Why I saw the one in Mr. Beast. Okay.
Now, I know what you're thinking at home. You're thinking cheetahs are not an extinct species in the wild. You can go on safari in Africa and see them. But what a lot of people don't realize is that cheetahs once roamed the wilds of India. So Dr. Adrian here is the head person in charge of figuring out what to do with cheetahs and getting them back into the wild in India, right?
Yeah, that's certainly one of our main projects and main ideas. We obviously have a different subspecies to what previously would have occurred in India.
Right.
Most likely the Asiatic cheetah that would have occurred in India, that has gone extinct mid or late 1940s, early 1950s. Obviously, when you start off with a reintroduction program, you need a large number of animals to provide the genetic diversity. Otherwise, all you're going to end up with is a bottleneck. You know, you'll be creating a bottleneck.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want to try and avoid. So yeah, we have
you don't want them to have
over 150 cheetahs. We've got a good population. We are doing complete genetic profiling of all of these cheetahs.
Yep.
So we have a very good understanding of who they are and where they come from, and we can then move forward with breeding them. The second and third generation, potentially rewilding them, also making them available to just help with that genetic diversity. So we could even make males available to mate with wild cheetahs, free-roaming cheetahs in India. And then that would be a way of those cubs would be obviously have a greater genetic diversity.
So for hundreds of years, Indian sheiks and royalty would actually capture cheetahs to help them hunt small antelope and things for game and for food. But when the British came here and really started hunting big predators in India, specifically around the early 1940s, that was the nail in the coffin for the Asiatic cheetah. Now here at Ventara, Dr. Adrian and his team have brought
the British, the British did, come on now, London. The Queen Elizabeth, are we serious? Didn't you learn your lesson when we did the Boston Tea Party? Like, yo, gang, you hunting down beautiful creatures in India? Astaghfirullah.
Brought these southern African cheetahs back to India, and they are breeding them, and they're getting them used to the climate, the gut load, the bacteria, the biome, everything that they need, including the prey, to be able to go back into the wild and successfully, once again, have wild Asiatic cheetahs.
Up next, we've got one last beautiful horned species to meet, and one of the people behind keeping it alive.
All right, so what do we have here?
It looks like the cousin of the other one.
Here you can see the
scimitar horned oryx. Native range, Sahara Desert, Africa. Extinct in the wild since the 2000s. Can survive extreme heat by allowing body temperatures to rise. Specialized blood system cools the brain during desert runs. Reintroduction programs now active in Chad. You know why? Because this animal is a Chad.
Scimitar horned oryx named because their horns curve backwards like a scimitar.
Yeah,
right.
The sword kind of.
Like the sword, exactly.
And you can see the color. So they have a brownish white.
Yep.
So you can see
what are they used for?
Desert animals.
That's right. Yeah.
So they can easily adapt to that environment. So they have a high temperature in the northern Africa.
Yeah.
So they will live there.
These guys, if I'm not wrong, there used to be thousands of them across the Sahara, in West Africa, into the Middle East.
Yeah.
But they were hunted to
mainly
extinction.
For the, mainly for the horns and the meats.
As a trophy, the horns as a trophy?
Yeah.
They do have beautiful horns, so that would happen.
That's the main reason they were extinct in the wild in around the year 2000.
2000?
Yeah, it's
a very recent extinction.
Wow.
Yeah. Recently, because of the captive population, so they bred. So now they in around 2016 they planned for the reintroduction back to the wild.
Okay.
So then they released in the Chad region of Africa.
In Chad.
Yeah. So in the Central
Chad
Africa. So they now this population still settling and slowly growing.
Yep.
So now they are declared as an endangered species.
Endangered species. Yeah. So the scimitar horned oryx, one of the most beautiful desert species in the world from the Sahara Desert, is a perfectly desert adapted species, an animal that can go months without a single lick of water and actually has specialized cells in its blood to cool down their brain to keep their brain from overheating and malfunctioning when they're racing across the desert. Now these guys used to number in the thousands in their range, but because of those beautiful scimitar-like horns and because they're a big giant meat bag, they were hunted to extinction as recently as 2000, one of the most recent mammalian extinctions. So going from literal extinction, no more, in the year 2000, 16 years later, they start being reintroduced, and today there's around 600 of these animals in the wild. So once again, Ventara goes above and beyond. They're doing everything they can. They're working.
Shout out to Ventara. I don't know if Ventara is like the whole zoo here, but from what I've seen, these people are the only ones that are putting in the effort in there. Sure, we got other people out there to help, you know, trying to get that. But yo, shout out Ventara, deadass, shout out.
Working to partner with the scimitar horned oryx groups that are on the ground to reproduce this insurance colony, this captive population that can ultimately bring this species further back from extinction. Animals do have a place in captivity, and I think this video, more than any other video, may be showing that how important it is to actually keep certain animals that are on the edge of existence in captivity. Let me know in the comments below if you guys agree. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one.
Not gonna lie, that was a good video. Deadass. I definitely got to see some animals I never even imagined. Thank you to Forrest Galante for showing me new creatures to care about. And I'm so, like, that's one thing that's so fascinating, is the fact that you can think you know all the animals and then a new one just shows up. That's the best part. Anyways, you guys let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Let me know if there are any animals that you guys care about, what's your favorite animal, or any sad stories about extinct animals that you want me to know, because, you know, I read every comment, I like them, respond. I genuinely want to know. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed, you guys want to see more, make sure you guys like and subscribe so you guys can join my group of people. You know what I'm saying? These people, we like to protect animals. We like to take care of them. We don't like poachers, and we will beat poachers up. That's right, guys. If you want to join me and the rest of us protecting animals, make sure you subscribe. Anyways, that is the end of the video, and I'm gonna go outside and play with my dog. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.